Hello, this is my evaluation of mine and Jack Mosscrop's scene recreation, specifically of the Star Wars for Force Awakens interrogation scene between Rey and Kylo Ren. Just like my last two evaluations, I'm just going to go through some questions just to go through the project, and overall that'll be my evaluation of it. So behind me, the first question is, what was my role? This time compared to well, not fairly small, but not as important as other roles in my last two projects, which were, first one was editor, the second one was editor and camera, which was a bit more important but not as important for that project. But as a very important one, I was the director. Even our tutor said that the director role wasn't really needed, but it was still good that someone could be in control of the project to overall make it better. But it was very important since we were recreating a different person's work, well, people's work, the whole crew's work in general. So yeah, and I was also editor, and due to problems which I'll get into later on, I did a tiny bit of sound design but not much. Sorry about that, something happened there so I had to cut. The second question was, how did I perform in total? Well, admittedly, I'm just going to say off first bat, I don't think it's my best project. I think it's definitely something I'll get into later on, which is better than the rest of them, but it's overall to me not very good. But I'll say I actually did quite a good performance as director. I kind of met on our original filming day. I was a bit crap in the second half. I sort of just was like, okay, just do whatever, I don't care anymore. But when it came to the rest of the filming, I really tried pushing it. Sort of when you work with people you know you can mess around, and I sort of tried to stop that. I can say I did join in at times. But overall I think I did a good job with directing. I also helped Jack with his lighting a lot. Well, not a lot, but a tiny bit every single time he sorted it, and he asked me, does this look good? I was like, yeah, maybe touch this up, or sometimes I'll just go, that's fine. Overall, just basic director work, even helping the actors sort out their lines at times. Yeah, I think I did good with that. Editor this time around, I think I was pretty weak with that. I didn't have much time, which I'll get into later on, but I think I sort of rushed it, but I think overall the editing is okay for it. And just to quickly go through sound, that performance I don't think was good. I honestly just got stuff online because again we rushed with that sort of part of things. So I keep saying I'm going to get into this again, but later on. But yeah, I'm just going to say this: it wasn't our main roles, and we sort of just did the bare minimum for that to just get it done. So yeah, overall I think I did an okay performance. Not my best project, but I think overall, yeah, I did a pretty good performance. I think it's one of my best so far. Okay, so for some reason there was a third interruption. Hopefully we don't have any again, so that's why there was a random cut there. The third question is, was there any problems, which I was trying to stop myself from answering before, but finally I get to say them. There was two main problems of this project which impacted it quite a bit to make me and Jack not very happy with the overall product. The first one is understandable, but it still, as me being the director of the project, I'm quite unhappy with. We had a third member originally in our crew, like the rest of the groups, and it was Rebecca in our class. I personally never worked with her before, but hearing her from other projects, she seems like she's done an okay job, like the rest of us. But in this project, I'm not quite sure if it's an illness or something's going on, but I'm not going to really get into that part of it. But some things happened for her not to come in college much, but one day where she did help us a tiny bit, because we're just doing storyboards and that type of stuff then. So it wasn't really much for her to particularly do, other than practice sounds, which she said she would do the next day, but again, something happened, she couldn't go in. She was meant to be sound again, she was meant to be sound design, so that's why we had to do the sound, and it wasn't overall good. We yeah, it was that was our problem. We ended up being a two-man group because of that, but it does help us with future projects because projects, sorry, we're meant to be in a 2 or 3-man group anyway until our final FMP. So it did sort of help us there. That was a big problem, that we lost a person, and that sort of made us have to rush a little bit more. The second problem was that we had an actual sort of actress that was in performing arts at Carlisle College on their level 3. Callum from our class sorted that out for us, and yeah, we did have original filming day. We did film the start of the whole original scene all on that day, but we ran out of time, so me and Jack were like, okay, is there any other days you can do next week? And she was like, oh yeah, I've got this show on next week, but I can do lunch times after college. And we're like, oh, it's fine, we'll be able to get that done before the Friday when we need to edit. But I got the first 2 days of it when she did cancel. The first 2 days where she was like, oh sorry, they really need me to sort the show out. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess this isn't your main project, so I get that. The thing you're needing to do is your main project, so totally get that. We can try and get this done in the next 2 days. But then she just cancelled on the next day in while the show was done, and I really didn't know what happened. There wasn't much communication, she just didn't sort of turn up, and it sort of confused me. So eventually I sort of stressed, and me and Jack had to talk to our tutor about it, and our tutor simply just said, it's understandable, but you'll just have to get a different actress if you can't sort that out. So yeah, it was quite awkward. We had to like sort of just message the girl going, we're sorry, but just 1 hour simply to just do the rest of the scene is not enough time. We'll have to try and find a different actress for the film for a full day. We're really sorry, we have to do this without you now. Yada yada yada. And then we had to get Erin from our class then to learn whole lines in a day, which overall she did fairly well, but it was quite an impact in our project, making us eventually rush, and we even had to cut part of the scene out to just get it all done. So that were the 2 main projects that impacted it. But I've sort of talked about how we've overcome it a tiny bit, but how the 4th question is, how did we overcome it? Quickly go with the actress stuff. Yeah, we got Erin. She learned the lines over a night. For that, she did a great job. Personally, she struggled one of the lines, which is one of the most complex lines of the whole film. It's like basically made up words, so you can't really blame her for that. But yeah, that's how we overcome the actress thing. We got that done. That also ended up making us sort of rush the editing, and that overall was okay as well. So that was how we overcome that. How we overcame about the Rebecca problem is I didn't really think about it until the very end, admittedly. But when I came to editing, I was like, wait, who's going to do the sound for it? And I said, we were originally going to do, but I was going to do a mute version with dialogue in of the edit, and then Jack was going to add sounds on, but I ended up just going, might as well just not waste Jack's time with it. I'm just going to get some copyright-free stuff off YouTube with like the force sound and some music. Hopefully that'll do. Overall it's the weakest part, but at least we had dialogue and music and sound effects in there. Not the best, but at least we got them in there at the end. Okay, so literally I promise this will be the last cut. The camera stopped, it automatically stops at a certain time. Sorry about the final cut there. Again, final question is, have we had any feedback? I'm going to start with the bad, and then we'll go into the good. It's a very small part of it, because our class literally looked at it today. The bad part was pretty much what I agreed on with before. The sound to me and Jack again are terrible. It was just a fact that it's one out of the 2 of the strong suits of the overall thing, and it wasn't good. It was just average, like with the dialogue, but then the music, and that wasn't really what the scene was. So yeah, that's the very bad strong suit. The positive side of it is that we got the lighting pretty much spot on as much as we can. That was very much a good thing. That was the second thing that we really needed in that scene, so we got a 1 out of the 2 things from overall the scene. So yeah, the lighting was pretty much spot on. That was all done mostly by Jack, with me touching it up a bit. Yeah, the acting was fairly good in it for people that weren't in performing arts or anything. It was even our tutor Johnny said that Erin's acting was very good in it, especially for being overnight. So yeah, this is my overall evaluation of our recreation scene of specifically, again, final time probably seeing this, Star Wars Force Awakens interrogation scene with Rey and Kylo Ren. Okay, so thank you for watching.